5 reasons why Fort Collins will be the next running Mecca. Boulder and Flagstaff have a new pier for elite athletes. This is Fergus Hodgson of the Ferg Running channel. For the original article, which includes many references, please click on the link in the description or go to fergrunning.substack.com. Recently, I spoke with an aspiring elite distance athlete about her post-college prospects and the best places for setting up shop. For distance running, the most established locations are Boulder, Colorado and Flagstaff, Arizona. For track athletes, Eugene, Oregon would have a similar draw, at least for those focused on shorter distances. My pitch was that Fort Collins, an hour up the road from Boulder and nestled along the Rocky Mountain foothills, will be the next pier, a fellow Mecca, if that term allows for plurals. The other candidates that come to mind are Santa Fe, New Mexico and Park City, Utah. Yes, I am biased. I live in Fort Collins and would love for the running community to continue to grow and become even more competitive. That would generate a rising tide for everyone involved. That being said, here are 5 reasons why Fort Collins is a stellar base for elite running. This episode's sponsor is Mountain Red Deer Velvet. When I looked for Deer Velvet to assist with my training, I found the best option to be Mountain Red, harvested in my native New Zealand. The best way to get this long-prized supplement for virility is direct from the source. Go to mountainred.com and use the FERG coupon code for 5% off and free shipping when you buy a 6-pack. 1. Unrivaled training routes. I've lived in too many places in my life, and I've never seen one that even comes close to having routes akin to those on offer in and around Fort Collins. Mountain trails, flat or hilly asphalt, paths through town and gravel roads on the edge of town. The city has many miles of well-maintained paths through and forking out of town, as does nearby Loveland. These paths tend to go under bridges and roads, allowing you to avoid most traffic, and that includes a 20-mile loop. Many of these amazing routes and trails have captivating views to boot, and yet see little use. On a recent Saturday morning, for example, my buddy and I ran the Double Bacon. That's 20 miles of dirt road, rolling hills on the northeast side of town. We barely saw another person on this classic loop that looks upon the gorgeous Rockies. 2. Optimal elevation. There can be too much of a good thing, and that includes altitude. The 5,000 feet at Fort Collins is ideal, since it is not so high that it impedes speed training, but it is also high enough to get the benefits of thinner air. Further, if you want higher altitude for targeted sessions, there are many routes of more than 8,000 feet within an hour or two's drive. These include the Medicine Bow Trail, Pilot Hill, the Summit Trailhead, Red Feather Lakes, and Pingree Park. Candidly, although usually clean, the Fort Collins air is not perfect. When there are forest fires, some of the smoke hangs over town. Further, on occasion, some pollution from Denver drifts north. 3. A brimming race calendar. Even as someone heavily involved in the Fort Collins running scene, I cannot keep track of the races around town, and I continue to become aware of more all the time. Especially during the spring and autumn, there are multiple races each weekend. Given strong competition between race organizers, the events tend to be extremely professional. Events in the greater Fort Collins area include traditional road and cross-country races, trail races, track meets, and marathons and ultramarathons, along with niche races for those with a taste for the extreme. Many include prize money and attract elite international competitors and national representatives, aided by proximity to Boulder. The Fort Collins Running Club is extremely active with more than 1,000 members. The club hosts a members-only tortoise and hare series at no charge to members. Similarly, nearby Loveland has the Sweetheart City Racing Group, which has at least 2 gatherings weekly. Windsor, just across the I-25 highway, also has a budding running community. Those wishing to enter Sweetheart City Racing events, which span northern Colorado, can do so with the Ferg Running discount code at sweetheartcityracing.com. My favorite of theirs is the Longview Marathon, which takes place each October and includes half marathon and 5-kilometer distances. It runs between Fort Collins and Loveland, and this year will be my 4th in a row participating. I've also repeated the Valley 5000, which takes place each August. I know and respect these organizers, and I encourage others to participate in Sweetheart City Racing events. Go to sweetheartcityracing.com and use Ferg Running. 4. Proof of concept. The proof is in the pudding. Fort Collins has already produced and hosted elite distance runners. At the 2024 US Olympic Marathon Trials, one man, Tyler McCandless, and one woman, Sophie Seward, were both Fort Collins-based athletes. And there were many other athletes in the area who came close, including Shelley McDonald of Loveland. In 2023, she set the Masters course record at the Monumental Half Marathon in Indianapolis. Fort Collins also has a semi-professional ultramarathoner, Adrian McDonald, who gets invited to the world's premier events. In addition, there is a rising women's team, Front Range Elite, attracting solid talent and winning nigh all team events they enter. Their most prominent athlete of late is Rachel Rudel, and she has had a string of recent victories, including over Boulder elites at the Pearl Street Mile. The openness of the running community in Fort Collins means someone could swiftly be welcomed and join the fray. There are countless regular runs each week to fit different tastes and needs. The most popular is probably Tuesday Night Track, followed by the trail runs and the Horsetooth Half Marathon training group. A new elite men's team for Northern Colorado is in the works. If this interests you, please reach out to me directly so I can keep you posted. 5. Attractive living. The secret is out. Fort Collins consistently ranks among the best places to live in the United States, and the population is rising in Northern Colorado, about an hour north of the Denver International Airport. I first visited here in 2011 and was enamored with the outdoors and the crunchy, health-oriented population. A cursory search brings up livability.com, which notes the active population, beautiful surroundings, and commitment to the environment. U.S. News and World Report ranks Fort Collins as one of the best places to retire in the United States, noting access to nearby Rocky Mountain National Park and other pristine public spaces. Niche.com gives Fort Collins an A overall and highlights short commutes, health and fitness, nightlife, and outdoor activities. The cost of living is somewhat high, and that is Niche.com's lowest grade for the city-specific characteristics. But Fort Collins is a bargain relative to Boulder. There's a lot someone could add, but the population of about 200,000, slightly under, is appealing to many people. Large enough to have what you need, such as employment, buffered by Colorado State University, but small enough for an outdoor lifestyle. Since I grew up in a remote area, I favor a low population and do not want more growth, but other people perceive Fort Collins to be a small town. If you'd like to add your own reasons or challenge mine politely, please leave a comment here or on YouTube. Please also subscribe for more endurance updates, be that on Substack or YouTube, and connect with me on Strava. Thank you.